As all of you are just now finding out, I'm more than just a pretty face that's really bad at video games. I've actually, dun dun dun, been an attorney for over 7 years. When I started law school, it was because I wanted to help people. I wanted to make a difference. And I find the law such a fascinating subject. So I thought, now that I'm growing this community, what better way to help people than to teach them the rules? How many VTubers really own their models? If you find a piece of jewelry on the ground, can you keep it? What are your rights with a search and seizure? These are our first 3 topics today for the debut of our new series, Legal SilverVoice. Who owns my face? In the world of VTubing, there's no end to the stories of graduations and personalities being separated from their model when they decide to leave an agency. It's a big factor why a lot of VTubers would choose to stay independent. But does being independent mean you own your own model? While it's a big step in that direction, it's not the only factor people need to think about. Depending on how you bought your model, your artist could still have a claim. So who owns my face? Do I own my face? Does the artist own my face? Does the company own my face? It's such a cute face. I know you love my face. Have I said face enough yet? If you've got the skill, you could always draw your own face. Mine would look terrible. I would be a stick person. But, if you draw it yourself, you own it all. You can keep it, you can sell it, you can merchandise it, whatever you'd like. If you want to be a stick figure, be a stick figure. If you've always wanted siblings, you could buy a pre-made face because the artist can sell it and sell it and sell it, and you might have 900 identical siblings all over the internet. You get the right to use it, but that's it. So the artist retains all the rights for that. And you get a bigger family. If you're like me and you can't draw a straight line, you can always hire an artist to create your face. You get input, so it's a unique face. It's uniquely yours. And the artist cannot resell it. So it's yours. You are the only one with that face. And depending on what you put in your contract, you might have all the rights. And again, you might just have usage rights, where you can monetize it, and the artist still maintains the rights to do any type of merchandising, which they don't usually do. But they can put it on a website and showcase their work to say, look, this is what I made. Isn't it cool? So when you're looking at ownership of your face, you're basically looking at the crossroads between intellectual property rights and contract law. Because whatever's in your contract is what governs. If you've asked for in your contract to have all rights, you have all rights. Like me, if I wanted to do merchandising, I'd actually have to go back to my artist and buy those rights because that was not in our original contract. And if you've been keeping up with VTuber news lately, you know agencies become an issue in deciding who owns your face. There's basically 2 kinds of agency. You can have like an employer agency, or you can have somebody who manages your stuff. If it's an employer, generally speaking, they contract with the artist, they're gonna own your face. Now, if it's somebody working on your behalf, more like a manager, then you are going to own the face because a manager's just working on your behalf. They don't actually have any ownership rights in that. So when an agency's involved, again, it's a contract issue. What does your contract say? Does it say that you own the assets? But generally speaking, if it's an employer, they own your face. If it's a manager, you own it. So in the end, the answer to the question of who owns your face depends on what type of model and what's stated in your contract. Sometimes the universe likes to leave us little gifts. Dropped money, a nice piece of jewelry, maybe a purse. If you didn't conspire to take it, you didn't do anything wrong, right? It's probably not stolen. It's all fair game if no one claims it, right? Well, not really. Now, you must remember, every state has its own criminal laws. It's like they're trying to be unique or something. Since I was a kid, I've always heard, finders keepers, losers sweepers. And that's how it used to be. But some states are being sneaky, and they've added a law called theft of lost property. Just as an example, Susie goes to the grocery store, loads up everything in her shopping cart on the way out, goes to her car, puts all the groceries in, drives away, leaves her purse in the shopping cart. But then we have Jenny pulls up behind in the same spot, gets out of the car, sees the shopping cart, sees the purse, says, "Oh, I always wanted a Coach purse. It's so pretty. Finders keepers." Then Jenny throws the purse into her van and goes about her day. No problem, right? Well, yes, until Susie comes back looking for her purse. Her purse isn't in the shopping cart where she left it. She goes in the store. She says, "Has anybody turned in a purse? A Coach purse?" They're like, "No, ma'am." She's like, oh, well, it's not where I left it in the shopping cart. And they're like, let's look at the videotape. So they're looking at the cameras and they're going to see someone picking up her purse out of the shopping cart and putting it in their van. And then they're going to have a license plate. Then they're going to follow that to your home. And if your state has this new charge, they're going to charge you with theft of lost property. The first question when you find something should be, is this unique and easily identifiable? We're talking like an 1830s pocket watch that says for love and honor on the inside instead of like a quarter or a bag of French fries. You got to make some effort to return it to the original owner. I mean, that's fair. And it also covers your butt. In most places, you can actually turn in lost property to law enforcement. And after a period of time, if they can't find the owner, you can have it. So you do end up with it. So you just need to protect yourself. It's always best to err on the side of caution, because you may see that diamond ring and think, well, finders keepers. But in these sneaky states with that new law, it may be more like finders weepers. So check your state. For our final topic, your rights. While specific questions about law are fun, I also like to talk about the Constitution. I've noticed people have a misunderstanding about how the Constitution works. They think the Constitution gives them rights, when actually it protects their rights from a government. Our founding fathers knew absolute power corrupts absolutely. They lived through it. They had people coming in their houses, kicking them out of their houses, searching their stuff, taking their stuff. And they didn't want that for future generations. And that's the beauty of the Constitution. It's vague, and case law fills in the gaps. Each case kind of whittles away at the middle, at the in-between parts. There's a sinkhole in the middle, and cases are like a little kid walking out on the edge to see when it collapses. When they say the Constitution is a living document, that's what they mean, because case law is always defining and redefining the edges of the sinkhole. So let's talk about your rights. One right you have is the right to be free from unreasonable search and seizures. It's in the Fourth Amendment. And there's this little word in that makes it so much sketchier. Unreasonable. Because unreasonable has no definition. Unreasonable to who? Most people's interactions with search and seizure would be at a traffic stop. Everybody gets pulled over eventually, even me. But is it reasonable? Everybody would assume a 5-minute traffic stop. That'd be reasonable. What about 5 hours? What about 5 days? Is it reasonable to have a drug-sniffing dog walk around your car? I mean, they're cute, but case law actually says that that is not an unreasonable search. But if they make you wait 5 hours for the dog to get there, that could be unreasonable. What if law enforcement wants to search Susie's house for a missing Coach purse? You always see in cop dramas, come back with a warrant. Well, what is considered a reasonable warrant? Do they have probable cause, which is a belief that some crime was committed? Is there an oath or an affidavit sworn out before a judge or magistrate, showing that they believe a crime was committed? Is there a particular description of what they're hoping to find? Does it state the place to be searched in detail? Does it list the things or persons that they want to seize? These things have to be very specific, because they can't come in and look in your drawers if they're looking for a person. Ever heard the term fruit of the poisonous tree? If you don't have a legal right to be in a place, all evidence found in that place is thrown out. So, what counts as a reasonable search and seizure? Well, until I become Judge SilverVoice, I can't give you a straight answer. We could debate it for days, but it depends on the judge, so your mileage may vary. I hope you found this entertaining or educational, or both. These are the first of many topics we will cover. If you would like to have input on future topics, you can join our Discord or support us on Patreon. Link in the description. Like and subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming episodes. If you need something to hold you over until then, come join us on Twitch. Also, thanks for watching until the end. Your support means the world to me. And with that, I'll see you all next time. Now I can let my hair down.